Where's Danny? Danny, why don't you stick up here? Andre?
Sir.
Got some room over on this side?
Yes, sir.
Got everybody in? Grab a seat where you can, guys, and can't find a seat, stand against the wall. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Before we begin, can we please bow our heads in a moment of prayer and silence for the Prince George's County officer shot and killed just a few hours ago. Thank you. Thank you very much. To God be the glory for this beautiful day, weather-wise. Operation 7 Centuries, it's our best team effort to date. We're all in this together, our partners with the federal government, state government, and municipal government. But this has been the most successful violent crime fugitive initiative to date, thanks to Governor Hogan's leadership and Mayor Pugh's leadership and the guidance and premier work of our law enforcement partner agencies. Before I introduce the governor and the mayor, I wanted to thank our task force partners. I wanted to thank Commissioner Darrell D'Souza, who you'll be hearing from, State Police Superintendent William Palazzi, Danny Board, the ATF Special Agent in Charge, FBI Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Rhoda Fagali, Michael Hagan, DEA Acting Special Agent in Charge, Andre Watson, Special Agent in Charge, Homeland Security Investigations, Christopher Caruso, Special Agent in Charge, Secret Service, John Cook, Associate Director of Washington-Baltimore HIDA, Rob Fernandez, and Barry Bowright, our Cardiff commanders, Capital Area Regional Fugitive Team, Steve Hess and the U.S. Attorney's personnel, Major Don Walters, Baltimore City Sheriff's Department, United Special Deputy Tactical Task Force Doctors, Andy Pollock and Art Barletta and Wade Gash. These fine doctors are here today. They volunteer their services and they accompany us on high-risk warrant entries should one of our personnel become shot or injured in the line of duty. So we appreciate all they do for us. At this time, I'd like to introduce Governor Hogan. During my 51 years in law enforcement, I've not seen a governor with tenacity, initiative, true grit, and determination to step up and tackle violent crime issues like Governor Hogan. He's always been with us. This fugitive roundup is one more example of his talent and fine work for Marylanders. He's always there for law enforcement, and he's always there for the families of those killed and seriously injured in the line of duty. I can't tell you how many funerals I've been to since Governor Hogan's been in office, law enforcement, but it's been way too many, and this guy's always been there, taking care of the families and our law enforcement families. So thank you, Governor.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, thank you. Those are much too kind words, but I appreciate you, Marshal Hughes. Thank you for all being here this afternoon. Before we get started, I just want to touch on the tragedy that happened earlier today with Prince George's County officer who was killed in the line of duty. He was actually off duty, but stepped up. Initial reports indicate that this officer, bravely responded to a domestic violence situation that he witnessed. He stepped in to intervene and was shot and killed. He made the ultimate sacrifice while serving his community. I have reached out to County Executive Baker, and I also had a conversation with Prince George's County Police Chief Hank Stawinski, and my thoughts are with Prince George's County and all the members of Prince George's County Police. My thoughts and prayers are with the officer's family and his loved ones, and I hope that all Marylanders will join me in that. We're lowering the flags in the state in his honor, and you know, I hope everybody will keep this fallen hero in their thoughts and prayers. I want to first thank the U.S. Marshals Service for the excellent work that they do each and every day, and especially for their efforts over the past few months here in Baltimore City. I also want to thank the Maryland State Police and all of our state police agencies, the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Corrections, all of our federal partners, including the ATF, the DEA, the FBI, Homeland Security, and the U.S. Secret Service, all of who have been working cooperatively together in order to assist and to back up the hard work of the Baltimore City Police Department and the Baltimore City Sheriff's Office. Last fall, I convened a series of meetings with all of our federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies. And we brought together all of the parties, brought them all to the table to discuss what more could be done to assist the city of Baltimore in addressing the violent crime crisis. And following those meetings, we announced a series of immediate and aggressive steps that we would take to assist the Baltimore City Police Department in an effort to remove as many repeat violent offenders as possible from the streets of Baltimore City as quickly as possible. We launched an immediate operation which involved nearly 500 joint federal, state, and local law enforcement officers who immediately began a coordinated they began conducting a coordinated aggressive surge throughout the city in partnership with the city police. We're here today to provide an update on the status of these joint operations, which have resulted in more than 500 arrests in Baltimore City in just the past 60 days. 259 of the city's most violent criminals were removed from the streets, including 10 individuals who've been charged with murder, 10 individuals charged with attempted murder, 21 individuals charged with serious gun or weapons charges, and 76 individuals charged with aggravated assault or assault. 1/4 of all the sex offender warrants in the city were cleared. All 259 of these violent offenders were interrogated, which has enabled us to make progress on numerous ongoing investigations, and which also enabled us to initiate new drug trafficking, gang, and other violent crime investigations. Several months ago, I directed the Maryland State Police, the Maryland Transportation Authority Police, the Maryland Transit Administration Police, the Maryland Natural Resources Police, and the Maryland Capitol Police to establish a more visible state police presence in the high crime areas of Baltimore City and those suffering from elevated instances of violent criminal activity. As a result of our joint enhanced visibility patrols, we executed 44,135 premises checks. We responded to 5,665 calls for service, issued 5,333 citations. We closed an additional 261 high-priority warrants on the most violent criminals in the city. And we made 263 additional arrests. More than 200 state of Maryland parole and probation officers partnered up with the Baltimore City Police to identify, locate, and serve warrants and to arrest numerous repeat violent criminals who had parole and probation violations. Just during this 60-day sweep, 2,463 joint parole and probation site visits were conducted, and 379 additional probation warrants were served. The goal of this aggressive joint federal, state, and local surge operation was to apprehend as many violent criminals as possible from the streets of Baltimore City. I want to again thank the men and women of the U.S. Marshals Service, all of our state law enforcement agencies, and all of our federal partners for their hard work in backing up and supporting the hard work being done by the Baltimore City law enforcement authorities. Our administration remains committed to assisting the mayor and the police commissioner and the Baltimore City Police in their efforts and in their mission to protect the citizens of Baltimore. We are going to continue our focus on assisting in the removal of the most violent criminals from the streets of the city, and we will be continuing our efforts and our assistance in identifying, disrupting, and dismantling these violent criminal gang networks. Our newly created Maryland Criminal Intelligence Network is helping to break down jurisdictional barriers because the bad guys don't recognize those city county lines, and now neither are we. Most importantly, we are pushing for much tougher anti-violent crime legislation, tougher gang laws. We're pushing for tougher penalties for repeat violent offenders, tougher sentences for people that commit crimes with a gun, and truth in sentencing legislation to ensure that people who repeatedly commit violent crimes won't just be let back onto the streets to do it again and again. When it comes to these repeat violent offenders and the people shooting and killing people on the streets of Baltimore City, I want to be absolutely clear. We have no tolerance whatsoever to those who are engaging in this violent activity and terrorizing the streets of Baltimore. Make no mistake about it. We will find you, we will arrest you, and we will prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. Before you leave, before I call the mayor up, I wanted to bestow a honorary United States Marshal honorary membership to you.
Wow.
And what we're going to do is have you and the mayor go out on our next fugitive roundup. We'll give you plenty of advance for that.
That sounds good.
And we have ballistic vest and helmets for both of you. Now, there's an angel to watch over you.
Thank you. We're going to need that, too.
This is the hat you will wear, right?
You know, it's 82 degrees. I might put this on today. I don't want to get sun.
And this is the golf shirt you will wear.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
There you go. Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you, Jim. Yes, I'd like to introduce this lady here. I've known this lady a long time. She was senator, as you all know, before she came into this position. She now holds the honorable mayor. And anyway, I see her in the city a lot, and we eat a lot. I live in the city. I've been living here in Federal Hill for 17 years. And one of her protection detail is a good friend of mine, Mr. Strong, and I don't know if he's here today or not, but we also eat at the same restaurant, the Cafe Gia.
Yes.
So, but this lady's real strong on crime and crime issues, and we talk a lot about these issues, and it's a good team with Daryl D'Souza and this young lady.
Thank you.
And you are very young, and
Thank you.
You always look younger every time I see you. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. First, let me just say thank you to the U.S. Marshal's Office, but Governor, let me say thank you to you as well. I think it was back early in July we had a conversation around how we could be collaborative and how we could work together. And more importantly, the meetings that you started, I believe, has enhanced the reduction of crime in our city. But let me also say, it's not just what you've done in terms of The parole and probation officers, we asked for, I think it was 200 and something. You did put back the 2 in every district of our police districts in the city, which I think bodes well for Baltimore City. And I just want to remind folks that 89% of the folks who come in contact with the criminal justice system, those who are carrying guns, have been in contact with the criminal justice system 9 to 11 times. So getting violent repeat offenders off of our street is absolutely a priority. We asked if you would allow your state troopers and all of the state enforcement officers to work with our police department, and you've done that, and it has boded well for the city, so I thank you. I want to say to my federal partners, I met most of you early in my administration, and I said, you know, we need your help, and you said, we're here to help you, and you've been doing that. So this collaborative effort means a lot to us in Baltimore City, to our sheriff's department. Thank you also for being as collaborative as you all have been as well. This police department, I believe, under the direction of our Commissioner Designee D'Souza, will make strides in terms of how we attack and reduce violence in our city. These kinds of collaborative effort could only mean one thing for Baltimore, that we will become a safer city. That is the goal of this administration. That is the goal of this collaborative. And so again, I want to just take a moment and say thank you to everyone who is engaged in this fight, a fight that must continue, because we can make Baltimore one of the safest cities in America. It is how we collaborate. It's how we work together. It's how we recognize when we have a problem that we need assistance and we reach out. And what is really great about reaching out is that people reach back and help you. So again, thank you all.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and also...
So I get this power too?
Yeah, I'm not going to let you get out of town. You get a hat also.
Don't mess your hair up.
Yeah. This is shirt for
You can tell it's a man, right? Because
And
nobody.
you're also a honorary United States
Marshal.
Deputy Marshal, and
Oh,
we're
wow.
going to put you on the west side and
Okay.
the governor on the east side.
Okay.
And there's a little angel
Jack,
to watch
Jack
over you.
appreciate that, Governor.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Daryl?
you.
Yes.
This guy and I go back about, well, a long time.
Yes,
Long time, yeah. And I remember I used to be a trooper like Bill, and anyway, used to work with this guy when he was in Baltimore City, and then we worked together up at the Old Town Mall. Daryl D'Souza is a good man. We had a street church up at the Old Town Mall, and Daryl used to come up, and I'd be there, and we'd give out coffee and hot chocolate and donuts to a lot of the homeless people and a lot of the people in the neighborhood. We kind of took the church to them because they didn't come to church, but a lot of troubled souls up there, and Daryl would minister to them, along with myself and some of your guys and some of my guys. And anyway, I know you got a heart for the city, and you have a heart for people, and you're a good man. So I'd like to let you say a couple of words here, if you would, please.
Thank you, Johnny. I really appreciate it. I'll be really short. I have to save my my vocal cords and my strength for my confirmation hearing a little bit later on today, and I'm losing my voice just a little bit. But first, I'd like to say thank you, Madam Mayor, the most innovative mayor in the country, and Governor Hogan. Thank you for your leadership for the state of Maryland.
Thank you.
I think what you said when we paused for a moment to honor the lost PG County police officer, it means a lot. And it goes to show you that whether on duty or off duty, how we do our job, it's difficult and it's challenging. And regardless of the uniform that we wear, the different colors that you see in this room, whether it's the sheriffs, the Maryland State Police, the Transportation Authority Police, even the federal partners, regardless of the uniform or suit that we wear, is that we all wear the badge. We all wear it honorably. And it's a difficult task each and every day when we get out of our houses, leave our homes, and kiss our loved ones goodbye. We don't know what the day is going to bring to us. So, Governor Hogan, thank you for that moment of silence for us. I appreciate it. And thank you for the leadership. Superintendent, thank you. Thank you, everybody in this room. Our federal partners, thank you so kindly for what you did for Baltimore City. Madam Mayor says it all the time. We have zero tolerance for violence in the city. 2017, we had 342 homicides or so. It was completely unacceptable. This initiative here, this collaborative initiative, shows that When we work together effectively, this is how we can bring peace to the city. It was very effective. 2018, we're going in the right direction between the mayor's initiative, which is the violent reduction initiative. This specific initiative, along with the operation that Chief Conway and the other chiefs in the police department launched early this year, it's been effective in Baltimore, and we just need to sustain that at level that we know that we're sending a message to every single criminal on the streets that if you have an open warrant, and the mayor says this also, and the governor said it perfectly, this is going to put you on notice. It's going to put you on notice that regardless of the uniform or agency you come from, we are coming to look for you, regardless of the type of warrant, regardless of where you go in the city or the state, we're coming to get you. And thank you so much, Johnny, for allowing us to participate in this collaborative effort together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Danny, could I call you up?
Yes, sir.
This is Danny Board. Danny's a special agent in charge with ATF, bad guys with guns. He's the guy that we go to. He's our partner, along with our other federal partners. As Daryl said, none of us get here on our own. We're all in this together, and we work together daily. So I work with Danny quite a bit on the gun issue, and he's a good man. He's right across the street. So with that, Danny,
Thank
got
you,
it.
Marshal. I'll be brief. Just a couple quick words. We've talked a lot this afternoon about collaboration, but this wasn't merely just about an exercise in collaborative policing. This was a mission, and I'm an ATF agent. I would like to think of myself as still an agent, not just a suit-wearing agent, but a real agent. But this was a United States Marshal Service initiative that we were afforded the opportunity to participate in. That the governor provided the leadership and the direction and the ability to undertake. But this wasn't just an exercise in policing. This was, make no mistake about it, this was a mission to make Baltimore better, to make Baltimore safer. Marshal Hughes is a very humble and kind man, but I can tell you, without the leadership that he gave, that the service and sacrifice that the men and women of the United States Marshal Service and of the Maryland State Police under Colonel Palazzi, that this doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. I'm very proud that ATF had the ability to actually assist on this. We were provided the opportunity to seamlessly integrate our Crime Intelligence Gun Center into this operation. That assisted in the seizure of additional firearms, with more charges to be filed off of that, with more violent crime investigations that will result from that, in violent crime and firearms trafficking investigations. But this collaboration, that was the key point, and that's the one thing that I wanted to make sure that I conveyed today, was this was done for the betterment of the citizens of Baltimore. I can't commend the governor enough for the direction and leadership that he provided us, and to Marshal Hughes as well. This was it was our honor and pleasure to be a part of this, and this is the template by which all other fugitive initiatives and roundups should be measured. But thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you so much. Again, to God be the glory for you, Governor, you, Madam Mayor, and all of you here today. Thank you. We're going to have, we're getting ready to wrap it up. We're going to have various agency personnel side interviews. If anybody wants to do a side interview, we have a lot of our people here from all the agencies. So this will conclude the press conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Marshal, the governor will be happy to take a